Hello there, you're welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations. The show comes off every Saturday between the hours of 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. on Pan-African television. We are also global. You can always see the show in some parts of Europe, wherever you find yourself in that part of the world. And we are also very active on social media, Facebook and YouTube. So you can again go to that platform and get to know what is happening. And most importantly, we are in over 40 African countries in the interest of Pan-Africanism and of course integration when it comes to trade and all kinds of diplomacy. So yes, today we are talking about the Ghana Agro-Food Conference. We are here at the residence of the ambassador of Hungary to Ghana, and of course we will be talking to the businesses that are coming from Hungary into our beautiful country to explore business opportunities. We are focusing on Hungary, the opportunities that lie between Ghana and Hungary. To begin the conversation is Laszlo Lengyel, and we'll be talking about Tetra. Laszlo, you're welcome to Ghana.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Yeah,
Is this your first time?
first time.
Wonderful to have you in our beautiful country. Now, let's go straight to business. Let's talk about what brought you here into the country. Why did you take a look at the Ghanaian market or the West African market through Ghana?
Yes, first of all, this is an ongoing business. So first, let me maybe introduce in a few words our company.
Right.
Our company is one of the biggest Central European poultry industry company. We have our own genetics, the brand called Tetra, and it's quite well known in Ghana. Mm-hmm. So this is not the first time when we are here with our products. And my predecessor, my colleagues visited Ghana many times. So we started our cooperation in 2017.
Okay.
And we have some strong local partners, and we are shipping to them regularly birds, day-old chicks, and hatching eggs.
So why is it so important? I'm looking at businesses looking for opportunities around expansion, distribution, of course, export and all of that. But beyond that, why the African market?
African market is growing. I do believe that this is the future. And it's growing in population. Maybe if you are looking to the United Nations statistics, you will see that one of your neighboring countries, Nigeria, will become for 2050 the third largest country in the world,
right?
Which is a very, very interesting number because after China and India, Nigeria will overdo the United States and will be around 500 million people. 450, 500 million people. So the population is growing. Agro-food, agribusiness is becoming more and more important in the region. So for agribusiness partners in Europe, as also in Hungary, we are open to work together with our partners here in Ghana and in the other countries in Africa.
I would want to talk about this with a focus on the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is even more interesting when it comes to the integration on the African continent, looking at one business hub that would see Africa do business with each other, and also the world also is looking for opportunities in this area. So we are talking about partnerships, we are talking about numbers. That's a huge number, over 1.something billion, yes. 1 billion plus, and we are looking at the numbers. This is very interesting to Hungary as well as it is for other European countries. Is this part of how strategic is this in your move?
I think it's a long-term project what you are talking about, because Hungary is still a relatively small country. We have 10 million people, and our company is a leader in the Central European countries. But in order to reach the whole African continent, I think it's a big challenge for our company. So we will go step by step. I do think that there is a room even to serve and fulfill the requirements of our partners. So they are bigger than us, and they are more thinking on a strategic way, as you told just recently. So probably it would be nice in the near future, as you mentioned, to find some countries and some strong partners who are ready to develop their business and to use them or to have a partnership with them as a hub for serving other countries in the region. So having a solid base in Ghana or in Ethiopia or in Algeria, and in the future to develop the African business through these strong partners. That would be certainly something that my bosses and the owners would welcome.
Wonderful. Let's talk about the Ghanaian market.
Yes.
I know there was a B2B conversation around agro-food, your space, your company Tetra as well. How has the feedback been?
Until now, it's very good. So I think we can see a very strong demand on our products. So hatching eggs and the chicks is something that it's always needed.
Were your expectations met?
Yes, definitely. It's maybe even more than what we can in the short run fulfill. And yeah, we are looking ahead for this afternoon B2B meetings, and just to concretize some ongoing projects and deals.
What would be the contents of the partnership? Expertise, I know, is key.
Expertise is we have some Hungarian partners who are looking for trainings, and they are gathering together small farms and we are inviting their professionals to Hungary and having an on-site visit plus on-site trainings. And then when they come back to Ghana, they can bring this knowledge and transfer this knowledge to their colleagues. So step by step, we are trying to develop the market with them.
Finally, what is the vacuum that you are looking to fill?
As I told you, we have some big competitors on the market, and I know that our product is more resistant in Ghana and in African economy, and our partners, they know them, but they have to convince the customers, clients, the end client. So probably that will be the next challenge.
Why should they go with you when the market seems to be very big and very competitive? Why should you be the option?
The quality. I would say that the quality, yes, definitely.
Well, thank you very much. I've been speaking with Laszlo Lengil, and Laszlo is a sales manager with Tetra. And we've been talking about what Tetra does and why it is important that they expand their business with a focus to the Ghanaian market. Thank you so much for speaking to us. We really appreciate it. Today's focus is on economic diplomacy or trade diplomacy or commerce diplomacy, and we are looking at business exchanges between countries. My guest is Dr. Nemeth, and he is in charge of Capriovis, and we will learn more about Capriovis just in a minute. You're welcome to the show, Dr. Nemeth.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you. Ghana is one of the best places in the world, so I'm very happy to be here and also in this television.
Is this your first time?
Yes, my first time in Ghana. I was twice in the past in Africa, but this is the first time in Ghana.
Now, Dr. Nemeth, let's just zoom into business. Let's talk about Capriovis. Who are they?
Capriovis is a egg producer and egg product producer. In our name is Capri the goat and Ovo the egg, but in our business is only the eggs, and we have also layers, tetra layers, and Hungarian type, and we produce every year, break every year 200 million eggs.
Wow,
and
200 million eggs every year.
Every year, and we make ready-for-use egg products. Nowadays, in the European Union, in Hungary, egg manufacturing companies prefer ready-for-use egg products because it's safer and it is easier to use, like liquid egg and egg powder. This is the dried form of liquid egg, and our liquid egg products can they buy also separate, so liquid egg yolk, liquid egg white, so everybody can buy the product which he need.
Now let's talk about your interest in the Ghana Agro-Food Conference. Why are you interested in the West African market, if I can put it that way?
We have partners in Africa, and we sell egg powder also to Fremont, Saudi Arabia, Japanese, and we have also Tunisian big cake factory who are a partner. But this is a new field. This is the first step in Ghana, and we see this is here our contact very strong with Hungary, and we also had a very good contract with Hungarian with Tamás Sari, and so this was the first step, and we would like be here in this mark.
Were your expectations met at the conference? Were you able to meet other partners, organizations in the private sector who are interested in doing business with you?
Yes, I think there was a lot of interesting organizer and also companies, and there is two part of or three in which field we can follow the steps. One, we have a very good technology. We are new products, egg white based dairy products, egg white based cottage cheese, milk cream, yogurt alternative. So maybe we can sell the technology, or we make a new firm in Ghana. It is also very interesting, and our egg powder in very good quality, and I think it is easier to use and in good quality for companies which are using now eggs in Ghana, and we would like to be in the market also with the egg powder. But we also, I think we are an innovative company, and if we see that there are other questions or other alternatives, we make innovation, and we would like also produce a typical product in the Ghanaian market.
That's great. Now you are the biggest producers of egg products. There's so much competition. Why do you want to be the option for Ghanaians?
I think yes, there are bigger egg powder producer in the world, and also in the European Union. But I hope and I think that the quality is more important, and we wouldn't like only sell products. We would like make partnerships, and if I could see, and also in this conference and in a agro-food exhibition, we can find here partners, and maybe we can help each other, and and also there are very good products in Ghana, and maybe when we sell egg powder to Ghana, we can bring other products to Europe. I think the agricultural products of Ghana is in a European market like cacao. So and we also have dairy alternative products with cacao. This is a dairy-free latte, but in cacao taste. So it is also very important. We sell more and more in Hungarian supermarket chains. For example, in Auchan, this is a very good French hypermarket chain in Europe and in Hungary, and it will be very important for us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nemeth. And Dr. Nemeth Chaba is in charge of Capriovis. We've been talking about one of the biggest producers of egg products in Hungary and Middle Europe.
Yes.
And of course, it's all about agro-food conference in Ghana, where businesses or countries are looking at expansion, are looking at distribution, are looking at export, and all the things that comes with doing business at the end of the day. So Ghana seems to be the destination for the world in recent times because of our growing numbers, because of the African Continental Free Trade Area, and of course the stability that we enjoy in the country. Thank you so much once again for speaking to us, Dr. Nemeth. Have a wonderful day. Right, you're still watching our conversation with the Hungarian delegation that is in town to participate in the Ghana Agro-Food Conference. The conversation today is all centered around economic diplomacy, trade between countries or commerce between countries. And of course, we are looking at Hungary's interest in the African markets, the West African market, of course, the Ghanaian market. It's a huge delegation, about 4 big businesses representing Hungary in Ghana to explore business opportunities. Joining me now is the General Manager for Korostage, and his name is Bela Naj, and we will be talking about his organization, which is one of the biggest in Hungary, and of course the need for us to look at all the opportunities when it comes to the two countries working together. So I understand it is the biggest cheese producer in Hungary, and I'm excited for the cheese lovers and of course the finest when it comes to cheese. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
It's good to have you on my show. How are you enjoying Ghana?
Well, I must say this is the most welcoming country I've ever visited. So
is this your first time?
It's great to be here. Everyone is friendly and open, and we enjoy our stay very much.
And is this your first time?
Yes, it's my first time here.
We are hoping that you will come back.
That's more than sure.
All right, wonderful. I'm pleased to hear that. Now, let's talk about Korostage. When we talk about Korostage, who are they, what do they do, and what are you looking for in Ghana?
Well, so as you mentioned, we are the biggest cheese producer in Hungary. That means we produce around 50,000 tons of cheese per year.
50,000 tons of cheese per year?
Yes, 50 million kilograms.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Just we export 75–80% of that. So we are present in more than 60 countries of the world. And we mainly produce cheese and some other processed dairy products. So our name means Körös milk in Hungarian, but we just buy milk and we use it for making cheese.
Korostage. So,
yeah.
Okay, I get it. So now I get the connection. Now let's talk about your interest in the African markets, through Ghana.
This is let's say a double interest. So first, some of our products are already available, but in an indirect way on the market through other countries. So why not having
direct access,
a direct partner here? Yeah, sure. I think that's the normal way of operation, and maybe even the prices can be much better on the market for the consumers when it's directly imported. And the second, we are selling to 60 countries, but I never counted, but maybe we are importing from the same number of countries, different raw materials, packaging materials, and so on and so on. So why not? There might be a possibility of finding a partner for selling us raw materials or packaging materials here.
Whenever you talk about your organization and what you do, you focus on premium and affordability. Beyond that, the market space is huge with different companies also doing the same thing as you are. Why should you be the option for the Ghanaian market?
There is always an important ratio regarding food. This is the quality and price ratio. And if you can produce good quality at an affordable price, you are the winner of the market. And we have a huge experience in that. So that means we have a huge range from budget products to the most premium products. That always depends on the market. It always depends on the product range we are selling and on the needs of the local consumers. And as I said, we are present in 60 countries, so we have the experience on how to offer the good product for the market.
When the forum was opened for Q&A, somebody asked if you do private labelings.
Yes.
Do you? I know this is of interest to our viewers. Do you?
Yes, we do. We have many own brands, which are quite famous and popular in some countries, or I can say in many countries. But we are cooperating with the biggest commercial chains, even huge international cheese producers, to make them private label products. So you can find our products under the most well-known brands as well in many countries. So we are open for any solutions. In many countries we have many of our brands, and we still have a lot of private label partners. So it works well.
All right, so that is doable. Finally, let me ask where your expectations met.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is a fantastic event with a huge number of visitors from very different areas, and I already felt a high interest in our company, in our portfolio, as I told you, as a seller and as a buyer as well.
Final words?
Thank you for being here. We really enjoy our stay here, and I'm more than sure that we can find interesting partners here.
I believe you can find very interesting partners. This is a very open market, and of course on the back of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which I believe you know of. I believe this is very strategic as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for being on the show. Right, so you're still watching the only show that projects happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations. The focus for today's show is economic diplomacy, trade exchanges between countries, and we are looking at business expansion, distribution, exports, and everything around businesses, when it comes to the global market arena. And of course, I've already spoken to quite a number of delegates from Hungary who are here. to market their businesses and also look for partners to work with. It's very interesting. It appears all eyes, are on Africa, and we are excited to be receiving all these people in the country, taking interest in our continent, in our region, the West African region, and of course our beautiful country, Ghana. So with me is Dr. Martin Herschel, and he is an export director for Alphabet, and we will be learning everything around Alphabet on today's episode of Diplomatic Affairs. Such a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You said we are all about the solution and not the problem. And you said, don't be hungry for profit, be hungry for partnerships. Let me begin with Alphabet. Who are they?
Alphabet is a family-owned company to this day. Alphabet was founded by a veterinarian, Dr. Attila More. He started this company as a veterinary hospital right after the fall and collapse of communism. And he really quickly expanded that company into being the #1 go-to place for veterinarians and farm owners in Hungary.
So that is Alphabet in a nutshell. Let's talk about your interest in the African market through Ghana. What brings you here? What exactly are you looking for when it comes to the Ghanaian market?
If I look to the markets, it's a little bit different answer than what I can give you regarding what brings me at this time to Ghana, because we are in the middle of November.
Right.
So the weather is much better here. And that's perfect for us. But on the other hand, if I look at the market, Ghana is a really expanding and growing market. Yesterday I had the opportunity to have some meetings with prominent bankers, business development involved, societies, organizations, and all I hear is Ghana wants to move from being a raw material producer into a more refined product producer. Now, Hungary had these same issues in the past. We managed to make that conversion, and I believe that we can bring knowledge and we can transfer knowledge and information. Meanwhile, we can also transfer good quality products and good standards, which makes Ghana products much better looked at the European markets, in example.
I want to believe you did due diligence in choosing to participate in this conference. Let's talk about the vacuum. Have you identified a vacuum that you are looking at filling?
Yes, exactly. So when we are talking about agriculture and when we are talking about Africa, we must mention the unfortunate situation in between Ukraine and Russia that, of course, made the natural gas prices skyrocket. We encountered the same problem 2 years ago in Hungary. And what this means, we have exactly a portfolio replacing these products with natural fertilizers, and this vacuum we can fill in.
Alphabet is a one-stop shop for everything around pets, animals, you name it. Do you think the African market has the numbers that you are looking for? Because I want to believe you are big in Europe, in Hungary, and neighboring countries, and of course Europe.
So Ghana has 30 million people at this moment. The Hungarian market is consisting a little under 10 million people. If we are successful in Hungary, if we are successful in that market, there is no question about whether a 30 million people market is interesting, and is it possible to make good business here or not? It is a fact. It is possible to make good business here.
Were your expectations met?
Yes. Yesterday I had, as I mentioned, good meetings with really interesting organizations, some of which have pairs in Hungary as well. I see the good business relationship. I see the good diplomatic relationship, which is always the first step in making good business. On the other hand, I'm really looking forward to this afternoon's B2B meetings after our presentations, because that will be the deciding factor. If we are successful, if we see interest, if we manage to convince local producers, then the next steps will come.
Is this going to yield any dividends,
Yes.
you think?
Yes, I believe.
The future is
Yes.
very bright.
Future is bright. The future is always bright, and that is what we are striving for. That is what we are working towards. So I believe there is a future for Alphabet and for a much stronger cooperation between Hungary and Ghana.
Well, thank you so much. Well, yes, so we've been talking to Dr. Martin Herschel, and we've been focusing on Alpha Vet. We are looking forward to this partnership. Hopefully, we know that this would go well in the interest of our two countries. We are talking about creating businesses, opportunities, job creation, and it is quite a good time for us to open up for business, and it's exciting to know that the world is focusing on this direction. So we are excited to have the Hungarian business delegation in Ghana, 4 huge companies coming in to look at possibilities of working together. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm wishing you a very good stay. Welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, where we take you through Ghana's diplomatic circles and, of course, bringing you closer to diplomatic engagements around the world. My name is Harriet Nartey. The show airs on Pan-African television every Saturday between the hours of 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. We are in over 40 African countries in the interest of Pan-Africanism, and also very active on social media, that is Facebook and YouTube. And you can also watch us in some parts of Europe. And we've been talking with a focus on the Hungarian business delegation that is in town to explore business opportunities. Now, here is the interesting part of the show. I am very interested in this part of the show because I just learned about the Ghanaian-Hungarian Business Council. Yes, I do know about the various chambers of commerce when it comes to relations, bilateral relations between countries, but it's actually not the first time I was hearing about this council, but it excites me to meet the lady boss who is in charge of the Ghanaian-Hungarian Business Council, and she is in the person of Mona Aniwete, and Mona will be telling us all there is to learn when it comes to the Ghanaian-Hungarian Business Council. Hello.
Hello, Harriet.
Good to have you on Diplomatic Affairs.
Thank you, and I'm glad to be here.
How's it going?
I think, in a nutshell, it's going quite well. The institutions and organizations that we've been to visit, we had very well welcome, very warm welcoming from them. And then I think there was a bit of exchange of information across the Hungarian businesses and from the Ghanaian institutions. So it looks quite positive, and I think the delegation is happy they came, and my interaction with them indicates that it's very positive.
It's very positive.
Yes, and there's a hope of a long-term relationship with Ghana.
I love to hear that. Yeah. Let's learn more about the Ghanaian-Hungarian Business Council. Okay. When did this start?
Okay, so the Ghanaian-Hungarian Business Council was inaugurated in 2017. You know, the embassy was restarted in 2016, and we followed a year after. So our mandate, basically, as the name explains, is to bridge the gap between Ghanaian companies and Hungarian companies. And we also provide support to the embassy in terms of government-to-government relationship. As and when they need us, they call on us. So basically, that's about it. And just to promote economic growth across the two economies, and then also to make sure that the bilateral relationship is an extended one that is going to be profitable for all organizations that falls under the umbrella.
I'd like to know if it's a win-win situation when it comes to trade exchanges. And for us to have learned about the Ghanaian-Hungarian Business Council, yes. You just run us through your mandate. Let's get practical with the relationship in terms of business exchanges. I can see how Hungary is doing everything possible to get the visibility and project Hungarian businesses in our country. How are we doing in Hungary? Is there interest there?
Okay, so there is a lot of interest in Hungary as well, because we have a lot of similarities. The first one being agriculture. the second one being water management, the third one being IT structures, and then the fourth one within the health sector. So there is a lot of benefits, because I know just off tandem, Hungary extended to Ghana 100 scholarships per annum. So Ghana is benefiting from that side. And then also from the Hungarian side, we've also created the environment in Ghana where the businesses are comfortable coming to Ghana to invest. And I also know that there have been partnerships with private institutions to set up water management plants, I think 3 or about 4 across the country. So in a nutshell, both countries are benefiting. And I think there is more room for improvement. There's more, we can do so much more in terms of tourism, in terms of education. About 2 months ago, we had a discussion with the Ministry of Education, and as well as the economic attaché for the embassy. And we were looking at the possibility of having an exchange program for like professors, lecturers, and BA and PhD students, where we can have some of them coming here to understand the ecosystem in Ghana, and then also having from the Ghanaian side going to Hungary to understand the ecosystem there, and then we can see how best we can collaborate and improve each other's economies.
Witnessing 4 giant companies, Hungarian companies, participating in the Agro-Food Conference is a proof that the interest is there when it comes to getting exposure in the African, the sub-region, and of course the Ghanaian market.
Yes.
I wanted to find out if it is the same with us also taking that keen interest, and if there is anything that the areas that we think we can leverage to also push our country into the Hungarian market. But I know that we are doing everything when it comes to the European markets. The EU, for instance, different policies are in place to project our interest in the EU market. So I think you are doing a great job. So where do we go from here?
Okay, so from the Business Council, we are having discussions on how to have a reciprocal visit to Hungary.
Right.
So this is basically just the birth of something that we hope is going to continue forever. And we are hoping that the Ghanaian entities that we had attending will be able to find partnerships happening here today. And from next year, 2024, we hope that we are going to organize a Ghanaian delegation to Hungary to visit all these, the 4 delegates and even more. Because our mandate is to open the international market for Ghanaian companies. And we are not just looking at big companies, you're not just looking at multinationals, you're looking at SMEs. We are looking at the woman that sells on the table.
FDIs.
Exactly. How can we make you grow? And if we can find a partner for you in Hungary, not basically just for export, but transfer, exchange of knowledge, how to improve your practices, how best to leverage to grow your businesses in Ghana, in Hungary, that is our dream. So we hope that going forward, we are going to make more impact, because this is a maiden delegation, and we hope to have a Ghanaian maiden delegation there and then extend it from there. So that probably is going to happen biannually or 4 times a year, depending on how successful we're going to be on the Hungarian side.
This is a success, if you ask me.
This
is a huge success, if you ask me.
Thank
you so much, Mona, for your time.
Harriet.
I hope the opportunity will present itself for us to host you in our studios and do an extended version of this conversation and learn everything there is to know. But of course, from all the things that you have shared with us, you are doing a wonderful job for our country, and of course promoting our interest in Hungary. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Welcome back. You're still watching the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, with a focus on Ghana's diplomatic circles and, of course, the rest of the world. We are very privileged to have in our space the ambassador of Hungary, and he is in the person of Tamas Anjou-Fener. Excellency, it's a pleasure having you on the Diplomatic Affairs TV show.
It's a pleasure to be here on your show. I always enjoy interviews with you and meeting with you. So
Thank you very much.
And welcome to the Hungarian Embassy.
Right, this is home for us.
I'm glad you say that.
We are happy to be here. It's been very busy for you, and we've been following because we have a huge stake when it comes to the activities or your mission in our country. Let's talk about the Agro-Food Conference in Ghana, with the participation of the huge delegation from Hungary.
Well, this is the first time that we bring such a large delegation to Ghana, and I'm happy to say that the organization of the whole event went very smoothly. I'm very glad with the organizers. I think they did a wonderful job. This is the first time that we bring Hungarian businessmen. They were not exhibiting at the exhibition, but they were participating and checking the possibilities for a future involvement. But I think that overall their experience has been very good, very positive. They are happy with what they have seen. The turnout was very good. I think over 100 participants, 100 exhibitors were at the Accra Conference, International Conference Center. The whole setup was very professional, so I think the overall impression is good. Some of the companies that came this time already have existing cooperation with Ghanaian partners. Some of them are brand new, not just to Ghana, but to the whole African continent. So it's an eye-opener for them. And I think Ghana and Accra is a very good place. It's a soft landing. If someone wants to come and do business with Africa, I think this is the place to come first.
From where you sit, what does this mean to Africa?
This is an opportunity for both sides, actually, to know one another better. An opportunity for Africa to show its beautiful face, the business opportunities, the investment opportunities, and it's a matchmaking affair as well.
I always like to talk about the positives and the negatives. The positives are the fact that they've taken interest in doing business in the continent through Ghana now, and amongst many other things. The negative for me would be, I wouldn't say negative, the challenge would be for if they have identified anything that they think might be quite a barrier to them doing business in the country. What are you getting from that?
I think that doing business, no matter where, but especially maybe Africa, takes a long time. So you want to establish a working relationship. It takes time. It's investment, not just of money, but of time. You have to come and meet in person. You know that we have restrictions. We had restrictions due to the COVID time. This was a time when nobody could travel. Everything went online. And I'm glad that this is the past now, a thing of the past. All activities are back to regular format. That's why we have an interest in participating in more physical presence events, such as this agro-food fair. So it's an investment of time and resources, but I think eventually it will pay off. So if someone is really keen to do business, then they will not spare the money. They will come and explore the opportunities. And it's reciprocal. It's happening in both directions. Right. I can see that at the visa section, we receive a lot more visa applications than we used to, even before COVID. So we had a peak before COVID, and then during COVID, the applications went down, and now they are surpassing those numbers that we have seen before COVID. It's a good sign. People are hungry to do business, and there's lots of opportunities for Hungarian companies to find a market in Ghana, and we also try to act as a mediator for Ghanaian companies to go and find partners in Hungary and sell their products. So it's not a one-way business.
This is a win-win situation.
It should be a win-win situation, of course. And Hungarian companies, very small number of them are looking for business relationships outside of the European Union, because we are a small country, only 10 million people. And most of the businesses that we do are within the European Union. So it takes a lot of courage, and of course it's expensive to do business with companies or countries outside of the European Union. So Africa is not at this stage a focal point for Hungarian companies, but as an embassy, as a diplomat, my job is to make sure that there's a bridge, and any misunderstanding that could happen is easily washed away, resolved. So that's our job to do, and we hope to do our best.
Oh, you are doing your best. I understand we have a very high-profile visit coming up in December.
Yes, in December, Ghana is the lucky host of a ministerial conference on United Nations peacekeeping, and fortunately the Foreign Minister of Hungary is going to come. He confirmed his participation. So he's been to Ghana 2 times already, so he is not new to Ghana. Ghana is not new to him, but it's always good to have the minister on land, in my country, so to speak.
Thank you very much for coming. Yes, I think we can draw the curtain on this session of today's episode.